Yo, moin Freunde, alles gut bei euch? Willkommen zurück in der Nerd Crate zu einem kleinen neuen Hangout, wo ich direkt erstmal die Grafik vergessen habe. Heute freue ich mich super drüber. Ich habe ihn gefragt, er hat gesagt, er hat Lust. Er war bisher ein paar Mal bei anderen Kanälen und es ist einer, den genieße ich jede Woche. Ich freue mich mega, dass er Zeit und Lust hatte. Chopper P. Quinnell. How's it going, man?
I understood all of that. Yeah.
I heard actually that you got a buddy from Germany, right? Like also
I have relatives from Germany as well.
Oh, really?
So I know like the most important bits of German, like zwei Bier bitte. That's all you need, right? Like
Okay, great. Then we can do this whole thing in English. That will be excellent for all of you. Alright. Leute, ihr wisst, wie das Ganze hier läuft. Ohne Intro läuft hier nix. Bevor wir loslegen und wenn ihr hier neu seid, vergesst bitte nicht Abo zu klicken und auch die kleine Glocke zu drücken. Auf die Art und Weise vergesst ihr auf keinen Fall, wenn ich was Neues bringe. Und wenn ihr Toy News wollt, folgt mir auch auf Instagram und auf Facebook. That's right. There we're back. Dude, how are you doing? How was your weekend? Tell me all the cheese.
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's been good. I played some Dungeons and Dragons today.
So, old school.
Yeah, I love D&D. It's great. So I had another session today. That was fun.
Cool.
Yeah, just had a pretty chilled out. That was honestly most of my day. Like we started playing at about midday my time. Started playing at about 12, and we finished at 6:30 or something. It's a good day. We just played D&D most of it.
Nice. That's
good.
Yeah. Those are always fun times. But man, I believe some people know that I actually was a wrestling fan, and I told you all about it when I was writing you on Instagram that you guys and AEW are on the forefront to actually getting me the love backs, because you guys make it fun with your own little franchise with the Jam That Jampion. Also, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
May it be the facial hair or the championship.
I'm fine. Okay. I just there's nothing going on. There's nothing to see here. I'm totally fine about losing it. Okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Lost Intangibles also fine. Everything is
fine. Yeah, totally fine. Nothing wrong with either of us. Yep. Totally fine.
Okay. I'm having a hard time keeping myself serious because I love what you guys are doing. It's just great stuff. But on that topic, why don't you give our viewers a little run through? What is it that you are doing? What is Wrestletalk? How did it start? And are there any big goals? I mean, you guys are a little bit like making waves. You got contacts in the wrestling business with the Good Brothers. Only to tell a few.
Yeah. So for those who are unaware, I suppose, Wrestletalk, we cover wrestling news. That's the primary thing we do on our main channel. Every day we have a news video covering all the backstage goings on in like the major companies and stuff. But we also have a whole bunch of other channels, because we've got the Wrestletalk podcast channel, where we do a bunch of reviews of all the weekly major wrestling shows of WWE and AEW and NXT and things like that. And we have Parts of Unknown, where we have more evergreen content. So we have wrestling lists and video essays and stuff from Adam, like Adam's fantasy booking series and stuff like that. And we also have Wrestling Daily, which is one of our like smaller channels, which is just like a daily again show just talking about wrestling news and stuff like that. And we also have the board game channel that Adam does called No Rolls Barred, which is amazing because it's board games and I love board games. So yeah, so we've got a whole bunch of different stuff. How Wrestletalk started, I mean, I wasn't there for the start of it.
Okay.
So it was because it was originally a TV show way back in the day. It was on a channel called Challenge here in the UK, and yeah. So it was a TV show originally, and then it got changed into, there was a YouTube side of things as well, and then Ollie, who now runs everything, took over the YouTube side of things and started making that his own. He built that up basically by himself, and then it got big enough to the point where he hired Luke, and then it got bigger, so then they hired Laurie, and then it got bigger, so they hired me. And then we had a website, and we got Andy on, and then we had Adam, and now we're a much bigger team. Like we just hired a new editor who's in the who now comes to the office and all that stuff, which is great.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a journey, but I wasn't there from the start. I only joined in 2019, so I've only been there about 2.5 years now. So, oh my God, 2.5 years. God, where's that gone?
where the time went, right? I mean, it's crazy with a big C, with the C virus.
Yeah,
I feel like time's been going fast because you're just mostly of the time you're sitting home and you just see, okay, light, dark, light, dark. That's pretty much most of the time what you see. So what I feel is extremely interesting that is actually your job. That is your job, right?
Yeah. That's my full-time job.
That is super cool. Like this is with your actual love of things is to make your money. This is something that I actually strive towards. A little bit of another genre that we try to do it, but we're getting there. But with wrestling news, and then essentially, well, it's not so, for lack of better term, hijacking another name because it was a TV show, and then you take that because it was renamed and you make it your own, and it's getting legs and it's going somewhere. I mean, this is a little bit of, I feel at least it is 1 in a million, don't you think?
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, Ollie was involved in the TV show and then just kind of like took the name of it after the TV show stopped.
Okay.
But it was basically just like it was his basically sheer force of will. Because at the time, no one was really doing wrestling news. That was just like a hole in the market. This was in 2015, 2016, sometime around then. And there just wasn't, no one was really doing wrestling news at all. So that was just like a gap in the YouTube market. And Ollie just kind of jumped on that and was like, I'm going to make this my thing. And the credit to him, he made it his thing. He worked his ass off and was doing, 2 videos a day by himself, just writing, recording, editing, uploading, everything. That was all Ollie all day. That was just what he did.
Wow.
And then, he just grew it, working 6-7 days a week and just grew it and grew it and grew it. So it was just like sheer force of will that he made it into something successful. And then, other channels have now started doing wrestling news because it's a popular thing now. So yeah,
I feel like that. Like a lot of things are now actually going. There are some really annoying channels. I don't know the actual channel name. Maybe if you hear what I say, you know which I mean. Is this guy that always says WE. He always has this weird way to pronounce things, and he always says WE.
Yep, I know exactly what channel you're talking about.
I was cringing so hard at this. I was really trying myself to pull through. Like, okay, what is he talking about? No, that can't be real. What did he say? Crazy. I don't know how you can actually get legs with this. Like on the other side, WrestleMania, they also do things good. They also do it a very good way. They are mostly a little later than you guys. Sometimes have 1 or 2 bits more than you because there maybe was a little bit of development. But you are pretty much on the forefront, right?
To a degree, yeah. I mean, obviously we can't be, because we're in the UK and obviously the vast majority of wrestling news comes out in America. Sometimes if something comes out late American time, we're going to be asleep. So we're not going to be able to pick up on it right away kind of thing. Yeah. But I feel like we are at least, consistent. Like we put a video out at 1 p.m. UK time every day. So yeah, we pick up on all the news from the previous 24 hours if we've missed it. But yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I love that actually. But I wanna welcome really short my live chat. I got Victorolosaurus says, "Hey Pete, hope things are still okay and you are doing fine."
I'm fine. Why do people keep asking? I'm fine.
We got Lolly, we got Cantina of Transformers, we got the Hinch Mark. His name is Mark, and we made a pun out of a joint from Figures. Because there's another YouTuber called Jobby the Hung, and he likes to do, if you got an elbow, he says hinge joint, and we made hinge mark out of it. So
okay, cool.
That's that. We got Megan Hagen now. Alex, yes, just no, yes, you can do it, Choppy. And again, Victorolosaurus. Okay, he's German. Victor interessant, ich kann jetzt gerade leider nicht. He's watching it at VOD LIW for live. For live. Nice. Thank you. Pretty good. Pretty good. New viewers, that's always nice. Pretty good. The thing is, with Ollie, like only no, not Ollie. You said Ollie actually started at the show. How did you actually get to it? Like, did he just approach you? Were you friends from before, or I believe, of course, you had wrestling as a love, as a hobby before, right?
Yeah,
So
totally. Yeah.
were you just friends, and he just threw you in, or?
Not at all. No, 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 no. So I was just I was just a fan of Wrestletalk, much like many other people were. Around 2016, 2017, I was like, Wrestletalk's a great channel. I'm a very big fan of it. So I was just watching it most of the time, and then on a random Wrestletalk news video, Ollie just did a thing at the end of the video being like, hey, if anyone wants to write for our website, wrestletalk.com, there's some openings for that. So if you're interested in writing, send in an application to this email, and we'll go back and forth, whatever. And I was like, why not? Let's give it a go. Why not? Let's see what happens if I go for the websites. This was in 2018.
Okay.
And so I sent an email across, and I was speaking with Andy, who's a lovely man. Did a little did some things back and forth, did like a mock article as if I was going to write for the website. He emailed me back being like, you're great. Do you want to write for the website? And I was like, yes, I will do that. So yeah, I started writing for wrestletalk.com, and that was at the very end of July 2018. And then in September of 2018, so I was writing for a couple months, they made me an editor for the website. Because I was just really amazing, you see. Of course, yeah.
Of course.
So I was an editor for the website for a bit, and also in September, literally like a couple days before that, I got to meet Andy and Ollie and Luke and Laurie because they went to a thing called Wrestling Media Con, where they had a few different wrestling media things, like Cultaholic were there and Wrestletalk were there, and you had some live wrestling and stuff like that, and they needed some extra hands for the show just to help with. Thank you, Brandon, appreciate it. Yeah, they needed some extra hands for Wrestling MediaCon just to help with setup, and they were going to be selling some things there. So Andy asked me, and he was like, "Do you want to come along? We've got some. If you need some extra hands, like it'd be great to have you." So I said, "Sure." So I went along, helped out. Yeah, mate. I'm fine. Why does everyone keep asking me that?
It will go on for the rest of the evening, I believe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've made it my own thing. It's the bet I've made. But yeah, so I helped with setup. I got to meet Ollie and Luke and Laurie, who were lovely people. Which was very reassuring to me, because as someone who's been a fan of their channel and stuff like that for ages, it was nice to meet them and find that they were actually nice people. Because a lot of times people say, don't meet your heroes and stuff, and it turns out when they're off camera, they can be, knobheads for lack of a better term.
I heard that for a few times too, like also on the Terminator franchise of things. Kyrie's like on the movies all cool, but on conventions, like, okay, yeah, signing, but that's about it.
Yeah, totally. But they were really nice, really like inclusive, made me feel like part of the team kind of thing, which was really, really nice of them. And then yeah, day after that, after I got back from Wrestling Media Con, I got made an editor for the website, which was great. So I was just continuing writing for the site, and went through to I think it was either January or February of 2019. So just gone through a few more months of writing for the website, and I got a call off Andy, who said, Pete, you used to have a YouTube channel, right? And I was like, yes, because I did. I ran my own YouTube channel for like 3.5 years about Pokemon. Yeah.
Okay.
I love Pokemon. It's great. So I had that channel for like my own channel for 3.5 years, and it'd come up in conversation when I was hanging with Andy at Wrestling Media Con. Like, we were just talking back and forth, and it had come up in conversation. So he'd obviously remembered that. So he just gave me a call, and he was like, you used to have a YouTube channel, right? I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, we're actually going to be starting a second channel. And we're looking for people who are good at presenting, and who, and who can do things, who have experience with YouTube, and who like video games and movies. And I was like, I can do that. Yeah. So
I'm your guy.
Yeah, I could totally do that. So he said, okay, well, email Laurie with like some clips of your old channel or videos or whatever. And I was like, sure thing. So I sent an email to Laurie with various videos from this old channel that I used to run. And an email back being like, this looks amazing. This is like the exact right person that we're looking for. So do you want to come and do a screen test in London? Now, at this point, I was living in Newcastle, which is the other end of the country.
Okay.
I'm not doing the dance anymore. It's not a thing that happens. That's like a 2019 thing. Damn it.
I mean, the dance is coming up whenever, you know. I mean, might as well you guys also turn it into a mustache dance, maybe.
Of course, yeah. Mustache break. We love that. But yeah, so I was living at the other end of the country at this time when Laurie had said, do you want to come do a screen test? So I had to get a long bus down to the other end of the country, which takes a little bit. But I went down, did a screen test. So I had to write like as if I was presenting a video, I had to write a script, present it on a green screen, which I'd never done before. I'd never used a teleprompter or a green screen or anything like that. That was all new, but just had to go with the flow and see what worked. And yeah, did all that. They seemed to really like me, which is nice. And they said, yeah, we'd love to bring you on. We think you're great. I said, okay. Cool. And Ollie said, we'd like to have you part-time to start with, which is really rough because, again, I was at the other end of the country. So I was like, okay. So I had to, essentially what I was doing 2 days in London. I think I was doing a Wednesday and a Thursday down in London. And then I'd get an overnight bus back up to the other end of England. And then I do 5 more days working at my other job that I had at the time up there, and then get another bus back down. Rinse and repeat for about 2 months. That was
sounds like
rough.
Fun.
Yeah, that was rough. That was real bad. But it was worth it in the end. I knew like I was working towards my goal, and I was like, you know what? This is all be worth it if I can get hired full time at the end of this. This is totally worth it. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Yeah. So yeah, I was so tired all the time, but I was like, it'll be fine. Let's just keep eyes on the prize. This will all be worth it in the end. Yeah. And it was. You know, I was sleeping on my friend's couch, which he'd offered up for me because he lived in London. So anytime I was down in London, I was just sleeping on his couch because he's a lovely man. But then, yeah, after a couple months, it was actually on a live stream. It was on the review of WrestleMania 35. So it was the day after WrestleMania 35. Ollie and Luke were doing the review for the show. And at the end of that stream, Ollie called me live on air and said, hey, we want to hire you full time, which was pretty cool, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. So then about a month later, I'd moved down, got myself a place, and was working full time from then. So that was from May 2019. Good God, that's been a while ago now.
Yeah, but I mean, it worked out, and also you had some, you were being able to get used to being fine, right?
I was fine. I was always fine.
Hey, but
totally
really,
fine.
That is like major respect, like being able to do that. I mean, 2 months is not too long, but when you're actually in that situation, I believe it's a drag, right? Like it's never going to end.
Yeah.
What was your job ahead of things?
So I worked in I guess you call it like a sandwich shop. It's just kind of like some sort of like cafe type thing. It's a brand called Greg's. It's very popular in the UK.
Yeah, we don't have that here.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was just working the tills, just doing normal things, serving people food, Yeah, that was it.
But now you're actually doing what you love. You turned your hobby into your job. That is the best that you can probably have it, right?
Yeah, probably. Absolutely. I'm so incredibly fortunate, and in the grand scheme of things, I'm so lucky to be able to get this job. And then less than a year later, the world shuts down. But I'm in a job where I can work from home.
Yeah,
that's insanely lucky that I got that. So yeah,
100%.
Very fortunate. Very fortunate.
But talking about the teleprompter, like you guys are always making it supernatural. Like I always try to see if I see any, like subliminal eye movement for anything, but you guys are really doing it supernatural. Do you only have like, I don't know, like small marks, like an overview of the news, and otherwise you pretty much do it freestyle, or how's the way do you actually do it?
No, so for the news videos, that is a full script that we write word for word for the whole thing.
Wow.
Anything that you see on the screen is something we've written in our script. Obviously, there's sometimes a bit of ad-libbing. Sometimes we'll add in an extra line, or we'll add a joke or something like that on the fly while we think of something while we're recording. But generally speaking, we've written out, you know, about a 2,000 word script is normally how it works out. Like a 10-minute video is about 2,000 words. So we normally write that out and then record it straight up. So yeah. And it's really good now because we all have, me, Ollie, Luke, and Laurie all have home setups with green screens and stuff. So we can all do it from here, from the safety of our homes, and it's really nice. So yeah.
I mean, it actually is. I mean, when I think about 2,000 written words, I try to come up with something, because back in, I don't know, it was probably 2019 also, I tried to do my channel in English because I wanted to see if that would actually help. So I make 25-minute videos most of the time for toy reviews. And then I wrote subtitles for that before ahead of this, before I went to fully English. I made this in German and tried if it would work that I write subtitles. And that was 3.5 hours of doing the video and also editing. And then on the YouTube platform, when it wasn't as streamlined as it is nowadays, there were another 3.5 hours of only writing those subtitles. It was 8 to 9 hours, just a work day without anything to get off, you know?
Yeah, totally. I mean,
Rough
subtitles are rough. When you don't have a script already, just like transcripting a video takes so long.
Yeah. When I think about Ollie doing all of this by himself, like ahead of things, and now you can actually spread this. You guys are all pretty lucky, right? Like he also is like doing all this at first alone, and then it got legs, and he was able to hire people, and now he's got this. It's a firm, it's a company, right?
Sure is. Yeah,
that is extremely lucky.
Yeah, it's a testament to his hard work, and also all of us have been very, very fortunate in the grand scheme of things to be able to do what we do, to be able to work safely from home. And, you know, we haven't really, none of it stopped because wrestling hasn't stopped. So we haven't stopped really. And we've just been able to carry on working. Like, obviously it was a bit of an adjustment. Each of us had to get a load of equipment for home and stuff like that, which is obviously a bit of a, you know, money investment that we had to do. But like, it's been totally worth it. We've been able to still work at home, and it's all been fantastic.
Yeah, the chat seems to go in on that notion. The amount of work these guys put in, it's nuts. They can all film in the safety of people.
Thanks, Richie. That's my very good friend Richie, my old housemate Richie.
Thanks, good to know. And Chopper Pete, it's fine, Pete. Now
I'm fine. I don't know why people keep telling me I'm not fine. I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be fine? Come on, guys.
But dude, let's go wrestling a little bit. Like this is a collector's channel, of course.
Sure.
How did you start with wrestling? Were you just old school WWF, or were you actually on the old glory of WCW, like Vader with a big Van Vader helmet, and maybe also some old NJPW, or like for me it was just as a get go. For me it was rough. We had a little bit of RTL too. It had superstars, but the old Raw and things, there was like little thing here, little sprinkle there, and on Eurosport we had a little bit of NJPW and sometimes some WCW. But it was pretty spread, like what they did with US shows when they cut out stuff, and you think like, wait, the last episode didn't end this way. You know, that's how it was for us. Like, how was that for you? Where did you start? Did you get it all in one nice continuation and the sorts?
Well, I watched it when I was really, really young. I used to watch it with my brothers. I have two older brothers, and they used to watch wrestling, which meant that I was kind of there while they were watching. I probably wasn't comprehending a lot of what was going on because I was very young. But they were watching wrestling, so at the time I was also watching wrestling. So this was probably around, I don't know, 99, 2000 ish, something around then. They were watching it, therefore I was watching it. As soon as they stopped watching it, though, I also stopped watching it because I
Mm,
had to try and copy them because I had to be really cool and fit in with my older brothers. So whatever they were doing, I also had to do.
gotcha.
So I stopped watching at some point. I don't know when, 2000, 2001, sometime around then. But I don't think they ever watched it like religiously week to week. Definitely watching it. Like they popped in and out. They were like, oh, the Royal Rumble's on. I might watch that kind of thing. But they were never like hardcore fans or anything. But then I kind of just stopped watching wrestling entirely until about 2010. I came back in, so I missed like a good 10 years of just not watching any, or not watching or knowing anything about it at all. And kind of came back in because my best friend at the time at school had very kind of like subtly kept like saying things about wrestling to me. I think he was probably like testing the water to see if like I'd respond and like wrestling with him.
You mean like really hook, line, and sink, a little probe and see what we can
Yeah,
do?
exactly. Yeah, he was just like, so do you know like the Undertaker? And I was like, yeah, I know the Undertaker. He was like, oh man, he had this really good match with Shawn Michaels. Like it's crazy. Like they had this big like WrestleMania match. I'm like, oh, it sounds cool. Yeah, it sounds great. And he's like, oh, dude, there's this bunch of guys that have just come in and they're like, they're from this show called like NXT. They're like all these like rookies. They've just come in and now they're calling themselves the Nexus and they're going crazy on the show. And I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. I should probably check that out sometime. I didn't. But he was kind of just reading stuff off and trying to like get me into it. So after the fact, I watched SummerSlam 2010. And for a lot of people, that was when people stopped watching WWE because they were like, "Oh, John Cena beat the Nexus. That's the worst thing that could have happened. Screw this company. I'm going to stop watching." For me, that was the match that got me back into wrestling because I only saw that match in isolation. I didn't see any of the build-up. I didn't see anything that happened before. I didn't have all the years of John Cena being on top all the time that had happened before it. I just had this one match and the video package that came before it, because the video package made it look like it was this amazing story that had panned out for months and months and months beforehand, and the Nexus had dominated everyone in WWE for months, and this was finally the good guys getting the win. And I was like, that seems like a really fun story. What a well-told, great story, everybody. Obviously that's not what happened, but that was the thing that got me involved in wrestling again. And eventually into 2011 at this point, that's when I started watching weekly and started getting really back into things. And then the pipe bomb happened and I was absolutely hooked from that. And then I just started watching pretty much religiously since then. I took I think there was a year I missed from WrestleMania 30 to 31. I think that year of actual programming, I don't think I watched. Because after WrestleMania 30, I was like, that was such a good culmination of all the stories. I love Daniel Bryan. Yay, that's awesome. Oh, Daniel Bryan's off injured. Don't care anymore, I'll be honest. So I just missed it for a while. But I watched WrestleMania 31 and it was great. So
okay, interesting start. The first match that I actually watched was WrestleMania 6.
Oh yeah,
Hogan and the Warrior. It ran, I don't know, somewhere around the morning, and my father just woke me up, and I was hooked. And then he bought me some WWF magazine. It was really just when Lex Luger has gotten his push as the All-American, so to speak. Then I was in, like, my age was actually my era was actually Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, Diesel, Duke the Dumpster Droese and the Doink the Clown and all that sorts. That was pretty much my time. And then when Razor and Diesel went over, became Scott and Kevin, that's also when I pretty much jumped ship, and I missed pretty much all of what WWF did back then. And I jumped back in pretty much when they became WWE and Cena was on the top and Edge was the main player. And I was like, Edge? Wasn't he this mid-card dude when they got up in flames? What the hell happened here? Like, that was weird stuff. But I feel like also what you said with the video packages, like, you can give WWE shit all you want, but the video packages to this day really are always fire, right?
Absolutely. They are the best, bar none, at video packages right now. I will say I think AEW's video packages are getting there. They're just not consistent enough. Like, there's the occasional like video promo, like for example on the episode of Rampage just gone on last Friday. they had an awesome little video promo about Bryan Danielson and John Silver. And that was great. That's awesome. They just need more of those like proper big ones. Like the one for Hangman at Full Gear was awesome. Him just like on the horseback riding down the street looking at all his failures beforehand before the match. That was awesome.
Yeah.
They just need more stuff like that. And they're getting there. But currently I still think WWE are the champions when it comes to that.
Yeah, I feel so too. Also when we talk about AEW, do you have currently major gripes with AEW? I got something I want to get to, but I want to hear your thoughts first. If there are actual major gripes you got with AEW, if there is anything.
Major gripes? Not really, no.
Okay.
There's a few things like, you know, I wish they treated the women's division better, but
yeah, that's minor. Like what WWE does is major, but
yes,
in terms of what AEW does, this is minor in comparison, you know. But women's division is a good point. Like I'm actually now starting to grow on Thunder Rosa. Like her theme alone like gets you full into gear. So
she's great.
What I feel what AEW needs to do a little bit more, I mean that comes from my head. I don't know how it is actually be possibly done, but I feel like I love Dark and Dark Elevation, that you have always free content and there are sometimes good matches on it, but most of the time you see someone you know already, let it be, I don't know, let it be Sky Blue, let it be Daniel Garcia, and you have someone you don't know, then you already know, okay, cool, he's a local talent, he gets some time, but that's a squash match. I feel like they need to do a little difference in there, you know, like give those guys actually something, because all the, like this is Barry Horowitz 2.0. This is all just jobber stuff, pretty much. I feel like they need to flesh that out a little more. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I think they have a decent thing. For one, I think it's on free content, which I think makes it a little bit better. It's something that's not, you know, it's not necessary to watch Dark and Dark Elevation in order to enjoy Dynamite and Rampage.
Yeah.
And also I think that it does a good job for the company, because they can put people that they want to showcase into these matches and they can see what works and what doesn't without putting them on Dynamite and Rampage. It's almost like a developmental show, but they feature some of like the bigger talents on these kind of, to help the other talents. They showcase some of the big ones on Dark and Dark Elevation, and it helps get over like you know, someone's like character in the ring, so when they eventually do go to Dynamite and Rampage, they already have like a thing that they know works and stuff like that. I think it's a good system they've got, but I do get what you get about like, I personally have no interest in watching Dark and Dark Elevation, because one, I don't have the time, and two, because I feel like I'm gonna know the outcome of all the matches. Like I don't have the interest personally. I need like the stories and the stuff surrounding the wrestling to make it good. Like having a superficial wrestling show of just like, this is some good wrestling is fine, but I would much prefer to have like actual interesting segments and feuds building around that. And that's what you get on Dynamite and to a lesser degree Rampage. But for Dark and Dark Elevation, it is just, here's some wrestling, which is fine. If that's what people enjoy, that's fine.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. That's a pretty good point. Like I love that too. Like I don't know how many times I already now watched the first battle of MJF versus Punk. Like that was that was so good. Like the whole like you're just a less famous Miz. I was like, oh, that was so good. I loved it. Absolutely. Like also when you think about the build up, like he was a small boy getting an autograph from CM Punk, and now they're standing in the ring, grown men, and you can have these battle of words. That is 100% crazy.
It is insane. Yeah. It's very, very cool to think about all the possibilities of how that story could have gone and the way they're going. And I think it's really healthy for a lot of AEW fans to be able to honestly speculate about where things are going, because I think you don't really get a lot of that in WWE, because a lot of time you go, they don't know where they're going, so I'm not going to bother thinking about it, you know? Whereas in AEW, it's like, they've probably got a plan, but I don't know what that plan is. Let me have a think. Is it going to go this way? Is it going to go that way? What are they going to do next? And it's not that the company doesn't know, it's that you don't know. And that's very different. than something like you get in WWE, where you don't know, but the company doesn't know either. So you just like, now I don't care.
Yeah, it's just random. It's really like they got some. I mean, not that I hope they do, but they got some monkey with dices. Let's see what the outcome is, and and the audience is okay, cool. We got that half hour of SmackDown that just happened. That it's crazy, and I feel AEW is doing it also so smart, also with pedaling back to CM Punk. When they actually teased things with CM Punk, but they didn't announce anything. They just did it so smart. Everybody knew they would. They hoped he would come up, but they didn't actually know. And then the music actually started. Here's a question I got for you. Do you think AEW has a contract that they actually need to play Cult of Personality in full always?
No, I don't think so. No,
because my thought is sometimes most of the tracks where people win, they get like in on a good part of the song to get the crowd directly pumped.
Yeah.
Punk is always with the static at the start, always.
Yeah.
That's where I think about, okay, have they paid this way and they need to do it always from the start, and then that's just something that I
maybe fans just like the static. I don't know. It's just a thing. I don't know.
And it's fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
Much like me.
Dude, but on the topic of collector, do you actually have also wrestling memorabilia like belts and figures?
No, I don't have anything at all. No, well, one, because I don't have a huge amount of money as it is, but the money I do have, I spend on D&D stuff, because
really?
That's my number one love is D&D on top of everything else. Like D&D supersedes wrestling easily. It's my baby, and I love D&D. I have so many dice and books and everything. It's great.
That is cool, but see, that's why I love these things. This is my little program, because I try to bridge communities, fandoms, call it whatever you will, because not everybody knows everything about everything, so to speak. And this is now wrestling. Wrestling also has, how we like to call it, plastic crack. And now we actually hear that you are a Pokemon head. You play Dungeons and Dragons.
Sure am.
What was the channel's name? I got to put that in the description. Is it still active? Are you actually doing?
Well, the old channel.
Yeah,
my old Pokemon channel. No, you're not gonna know the name of that. No one needs to know that. Nope.
There's a little shame in there, Pete, or
it's not necessarily shame. I'm very proud of what I did in that channel. From where I started, I was terrible. I was really bad at making YouTube videos. And to be able to grow that, I think at the end of it, the duration, I think I had 1,000 subscribers, which is not like, it's not a huge amount by any means, but it's something. That was the goal that I had when I made the channel. I didn't want to make it like, some big, I didn't want to do it full time or anything. I was like, if I can get to like 1,000 subscribers, I think that would be cool. That'd be nice if I can get that going. And that's what I hit, and that was great. But the skills I gained from it, the ability to present, the ability to make graphics and make what I understood to be an interesting piece of content and be entertaining when I talk, that's skills that have helped me immeasurably, because that's everything that set me up for what I'm doing now. So it was invaluable, but it's also very bad. The videos are not good, so they're just my thing. That's my thing that I can look back and go, oh, so look how bad that was. That's crazy. You're so much better now. But yeah, so that's just a private thing.
Okay, hey, but still, you're absolutely right. Like this, you school yourself doing this. Like I did my logo with Illustrator actually on my own. My ex-girlfriend helped me with that. Photoshop, everything. That's what I'm doing till now. English, I know from way back from my school, and I'm watching everything in English. I'm reading in English. So what you say, all of these experiences come together to make you better, a little bit of more of an entertainer, get live, and how you tell things to get people in on what you are actually trying to tell them. And that is even if you now look at it, okay, I did that. Good for me, but I mean, it's still experience, and that is all that is needed actually too. Absolutely. So Do you have more love, like Dungeons and Dragons, Pokemon? Is there more?
Dungeons and Dragons, Pokemon, generally just like board games are becoming another big love of mine in general.
Okay.
Board games and tabletop role-playing games are amazing. I really want to buy more Pokemon games. More board games, sorry. I saw the word Pokemon flash up on the screen and I lost my train of thought.
So
thank you, Brandon.
So your favorite Pokemon?
Aggron. Aggron's amazing. I love Aggron.
Okay, I believe we have in Germany, we have a lot of different names. Like I think the best ever is, do you know Relaxo? Or the big bear one, the big teddy bear kind of one. We call that Relaxo. How do you guys call that?
So which teddy bear? Because you've got Ursaring, which is just like big bear, or you've got like Beware, which is like the pink and black one, which is just he's big teddy bear as well.
No, that's not it. I tried to find the name. It's the one that's pretty much blue and beige. Only has like 2 lines, 4 eyes, and it's always like big and cuddly. We call him Relaxo. I don't know how you guys call him.
Snorlax. Snorlax. Yeah,
that's the one. That's the one. I feel like if I would play Pokemon, I would like to play that because that guy is cool.
I like Snorlax. He's a very cool guy. He eats and he sleeps. That's the dream.
Right.
It's amazing.
So how about any other franchises? Actually, like you said, board games now, but how about stuff like video games? I am looking around my room now, like Mortal Kombat or the MCU, Transformers, Terminator, RoboCop. Something like that.
MCU, yes, big fan of that.
Excellent.
I do generally like other video game stuff. I've been playing a whole bunch of a video game called Hades, which is great.
That looks so good.
I love Hades. Such a good game.
I watched Max Dude's Let's Play of that. It looks so fun.
It is awesome. Would highly recommend Hades. That's been great. What other stuff have I been watching? I literally watched, like, the other night, I watched the first episode of Arcane, his new show on Netflix. It's based off League of Legends, I believe. But it's not. Apparently, you don't have to know about League of Legends to watch the show, which is nice because I don't play League of Legends, so that's great. But it looked like a very good show. Other things that I like: Harry Potter. That's a thing.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Like that. I can't show you the other one, but Avatar: The Last Airbender. What a TV show! God, I love that thing. I've got another tattoo up here about that, and I've got a Pokemon one, and I've got a D&D one here as well. So that's all my things that I like.
It's interesting. The nerd universe is pretty vast and endless. Like the show that I finished up today was actually Star Wars Clone Wars. Have you watched that one? Oh,
I haven't seen Clone Wars though.
Oh, the end though. I'm not going to spoil anything for you if you're actually trying to watch it still. But I was never big of a Star Wars man. Like I'm always just watching pretty much everything I got in my room here and yeah, kind of catching up on that. But Star Wars, man, that's kind of getting to me. That's actually pretty rough. But if you would get something wrestling memorabilia wise, is there something that you would like to get? And if not, if it exists or not, is there a grail that you would say, okay, I never needed something, I don't have a single bit, but if this would be announced right now, may it be from, I don't know, Pro Wrestling Tees, from WWE Official, or some company, Pop Culture Shock, whatever, would there be something that you would say, that is what I want to have? If I only have one piece as a real grail, is there something that you would like?
That's a rough
I know
question.
that's a tough
I don't
one.
know.
I had to rebuild that because it's usually from the figure side of questions.
Yeah. I don't know whether I'd like. It was stolen. We jammed it in and changed the rules, and
You're getting it back.
I'm gonna get into that. I'm fine. I don't know if there's any one thing in particular. I'd have MJF's diamond ring. That's what I'd have. If that became a piece of like memorabilia, I'd be like, that's cool. I could put that in a little case. That would look pretty. Yeah, I like that.
Not really putting it on the finger, and then maybe also a little championship sticker over it.
No, you wouldn't sully the prestige of the diamond ring with a vinyl. Plus, we don't even have a sticker over our championship anymore. We've got a brand new belt. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
And you will get it. You will get it in due time. You will get it.
I will.
$1 million or for another beard or more hair. we never know.
Back.
But you will get it back. You will get it back. But do you have a special talent, Pete? Like
special talent?
Yeah, like I try to describe it. Like something that nobody else can do. You know that you can do it. There's nothing I can actually do with it, like nothing worthwhile or as a job. We don't hope it will ever happen that you leave Wrestletalk, but if it would be the case, and hey, I got this talent, I could maybe. Is there anything? It could be whatever. If you don't,
I've got a thing that is completely pointless and in no way useful.
Excellent.
In any scenario ever.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I can whistle and hum at the same time.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Give us a test.
Okay. I want to see if I can do it. It's hard to do when you're smiling. I'm on the spot now. This might not work. I've not tried it in a while. Okay. Nope. I'm now going switching between the two. Hold on, I can do this. The whistle it's struggling. The whistle is struggling. I'll be real with you. It's half there. It's half there.
And I tell you what, you are the first person in existence that can do it because
it's close. Yeah, it's there. Yeah.
It comes down to the humidity of the lips, I believe.
It's pretty probably dry. Yeah. It's winter. It's a bad time of year to do it.
But that's
my excuse anyway.
No, but that is no excuse. That is 100% utterly pointless, and I have never seen anyone else do it actually. So
there you go. Yeah, you're welcome. I can't do anything else with my life, so I've got that.
So, dude, pretty much the final question. We're almost at for an hour, and I don't know. I'm not too deep into any comment section wrestling wise. I'm not too deep in any groups, so I don't actually know if this is a thing, like toxicity in the community, in the fandom. Is that actually a thing? Do you see that in the comment section often and a lot?
Yep, all the time. Yeah.
Do you have?
Yeah, it's real bad.
Do you have an example? Like just maybe on the top of the head from today, from a comment, whatever.
Goodness me. I mean, it depends what you're looking at. If you're on Twitter, there's obviously a bunch of like AEW versus WWE tribalism all the time of people just messing with each other's opinions and stuff, and people just being like, well, how can you like WWE and then people in WWE being like, you're stupid for liking AEW and blah 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 blah. It's dumb. Just like what you want to like. There's stuff on the Wrestletalk stuff of people don't like certain presenters, and that's people like leaving comments about like, I don't like this person, I want this person to do the news instead, or whatever. That happens too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of it around, but it's nothing compared to all the positivity that's out there and the lovely people that make up for it by leaving very nice comments, and very nice people such as yourself being like, hey, I want you to come on here and do an interview or whatever, and come out, hang out and chat, which is very nice. So yeah, there's lots of very, very nice people out there, and it's sometimes the negativity gets very loud. But you have to always remember that there are so many more people that are not toxic. It's just that the toxic ones are very, very loud. That's all.
That's right. That's right. That's a very good point. Yeah, my brother in arms, we're doing the collector's baby. He's also in here with a nice little bit of a New Age Outlaws impression. So in terms of what I said, the final question pretty much, and with the toxicity, if you would have a message for these people that they would need to abide by, because you got the power and you're fine and you'll be the champion and all that shit, you know?
Yep.
What would it be that you tell these guys?
I think it'd be fairly simple. It's shut up. That's the rule. Like, just shut up. That's it. Just whatever you're gonna say, just don't say it. There you go. Problem solved. Just stop being an idiot.
Pretty much, right? Like, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. That is the golden rule of life, right? Is don't be a dick. And that's it. It encompasses so many things, but it always rings true every time. It's just don't be a dick. It's just how you should live life. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel so too. But some people really have it coming. Like sometimes, you know, like I just actually had a conversation with my buddy about that. There was a dude that was showing a picture of a figure, and it had rooted hair. That wasn't sculpted. It was rooted. It wasn't a 1/6 scale, and it looked puffy. It looked like a doll. It didn't look good. It was Eric Draven from The Crow, and it was easy fixable. Like you would just take some, I don't know, some wet gel and put it in there, stripe it down, be done with it. And I believe he actually asked for opinion, and I said, dude, sorry, the figure is amazing, but the hair, you got to do something about it. And then he got off at me. Like the first thing was he edited the post on Facebook about saying, oh, is that better now? Like kind of your highness, so to speak. And I was like, dude, why are you giving me this? You know, like I just stated my opinion. I'm always, you like it, you win. If you are cool with Plushy Draven, that's good with me. Like I have no problem with that whatsoever. I just stated my opinion. And he was coming off, I should chill out. And I didn't get that 100%. And this is also a topic, like I said, that I had with him, with my buddy actually, that I said, why are essentially the good guys, us, always the ones to have to think about what we say? I mean, communication is not a hard thing. Only speaking your opinion shouldn't be a problem, but to some people it actually is. And why not? I mean, I get it. When you only have lines on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever, it's only lines. A lot of the communication is actually missed. You know, the mimics, the gestics, it's all done. It's all gone. But why only expect the worst in things? Sometimes an opinion is just an opinion.
Yeah. And the thing that people can't deal with is that opinions are different to their own. You know, people have a very insular view of thinking like, the way I see the world is how everyone should see the world because I'm right about everything. And that's just not how the world works. That's just a lie, right? That's just not true. So you need to be more aware that other people will think differently to you. And then you need to open yourself up to the opinions of those that you care about. And the opinions that you don't care about, don't listen to, because they're other people's opinions. They can feel free that they can have them, but you don't need to pay attention to them if they don't influence your life. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
It's real simple.
I believe we can pretty much keep it at that. Dude, I don't okay. Oh, here we got a question from Mr. Sentinel Bay. Any independent worker, male or female, that we should be on the lookout for? That's a good question.
Let's have a think. There's definitely some that I can think of. I guess technically an independent worker now is Jonathan Gresham, because Ring of Honor's they've released all their talent and they're going to be going through a whole bunch of stuff. Jonathan Gresham is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Definitely be on the lookout for him. Female talent, Miyu Yamashita is so good. She's amazing. Cannot wait for her to do more stuff. I saw her one time at it was what's it called? It's a Frontline show. It was in London. And she faced who was it? Was it Jamie Hayter? No, I don't think it was. Can't remember who it was she faced, but she faced someone.
I'm currently on Jamie Hayter's back catalog. I think I didn't get there if it was actually her.
Yeah, well, Jamie Hayter was definitely on that show. I just can't remember whether she was facing her or not.
Mhm.
But Miyu Yamashita is so good. You know how Malachi Black does the Black Mass, his spinning heel kick? Miyu Yamashita does a better one than Malachi Black. It is... Oh, it's good. It's so good. Seriously,
Okay.
like, go look it up after this because it is amazing. So yeah, Miyu Yamashita definitely is the female talent to look out for. She's awesome.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. I got a kind of question, but just because I'm really looking forward to that if it actually should happen. You can choose if it's your own opinion if it will happen or your professional lookout, so to speak. Adam Scher, Wyndham Rotunda, Cult of Wyndham and AEW happening or not?
I wouldn't want it to be that. No.
Okay.
It could totally happen. I wouldn't want it to. I think if Wyndham's going to go to AEW, he should either do his own thing. If there is anybody at all that could become the next leader of the Dark Order, it's him. Because I feel like anyone else becoming the next proper leader, like Hangman's kind of like the biggest star of the Dark Order, but he's not really the leader of the Dark Order per se.
Right.
If there's anyone that can take up the mantle off Brody Lee, it would be Wyndham. Because I think anyone else...
And still keep it in the family, right? Sorry.
Exactly, yeah. And I feel like anyone else kind of taking that mantle of the leader would almost feel like disrespectful in a way to Brody's legacy. Whereas if you do Wyndham, I think he is the only person that could legitimately become the next leader of the Dark Order. Not saying that he has to, but if someone was to be the next leader, I think it has to be Wyndham.
Okay.
But I think he should do his own thing. I don't think he should reunite with Adam Scher personally. That's just
okay.
Me.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, we don't want to dive in too deep into that. I believe that will be something of the next big thing. I believe we had Adam Scher in what was it? Your narrative. I don't get the full name. The promotion from EC3.
Control Your Narrative.
Yeah. Like that was interesting cinematic stuff. Like I was actually into that. I like the theme. But if you should actually turn up an Impact or AEW, I feel like that's something. I know AEW is mostly, let's say, cruiserweight oriented. They're not like really heavyweights like WWE, you know. But I feel like, I don't know, Big Show is looking out, like really sticking out like a sore thumb, you know. And I feel a little one or two big men more. I feel I would like just to mix it up a little bit more. Not that I don't like it what they do. I love what they do. This is just so much high class wrestling without the restrictions of WWE. You know, I respect WWE that they are doing the whole concussion treatment and prevention stuff. It's all respectable, 100%. I love that, but I feel like companies like Impact, NJPW, GCW, AEW, they all show that even without restrictions, people can work safe. And I feel like with one or two big men, like maybe even W. Morrissey, because I feel it's cool that Cass is back. He's looking great. He's doing good work.
Yeah,
I feel the mix-up could be fresh. But on the other side, what Ollie said, I believe it was this week, that the roster is starting to get a little bloated, which is true.
Yeah,
it could also be rough to I don't know, to level everything, right? I don't know how many guys we actually have and actually at the at catering, but I believe that's something for the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much for being here. I had an absolute blast. It was super cool. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. It's been awesome.
Anytime. Maybe we repeat that in the future if something comes up.
Sure, man.
Something good like your beard or your championship.
Yeah, maybe one of those. Yeah.
So I delete that and I put you on big, and you can tell people in your short stint where people can find you if they don't know you.
You can find me everywhere. You can find me on Twitter at Quinnell and on Wrestletalk and Wrestletalk Podcast and Parts Unknown and No Rolls Barred as well. All those YouTube channels. And I have my own D&D YouTube channel, which I don't really upload to anymore, called Warcaster. You don't have to subscribe to that one. I'll let you know when I'm doing more videos on there. That's me. Instagram, technically, Pete Quinnell. Don't really post there either.
Yeah.
That's me.
Guys, that was Chopper Pete Quinnell of Wrestletalk, and I had a damn good time. I was extremely happy, and yeah, I can only tell you, have a great week. Thanks again to Pete for doing this.
Thank you so much.
And maybe stick there for a hot second. Just only a hot second. It's late already. But otherwise, yeah. Have a great start of the week. Have a great Monday. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and all that sorts. You know how it goes. And I will see you next time. And don't forget, support Wrestletalk.